Welcome to Soccer as We Like It, the channel for football and global fans all over the world. We are having a big football tournament this summer. We have the Euros, we have the Copa, and we have the Olympic football coming. Joining us is our our traditional members and contributors. Joining us after a while of holidays and vacation, we have Vim, the analyst. Vim, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, how you all doing?
Oh, good. And we have Joe representing Houston Red Army. Mr. Positive, how are you, soul man? Right,
Good.
glad to see you guys back to talk about non-United football, more international football. With now that we have the Euros 24 starting, uh, tournament being held in Germany. We have the Copa America supposed to be held in Argentina, but it's now being held in California and Florida in America, whatever you want to call it. But right, we're going to dive right into it. The Euros, we're literally on the second phase of matches from the groups now, and so far, I'm going to go straight to Vim. Have there been any games that have really caught your attention? Like, that was a cracker so far. Or have there been games that have been like, oh God, damn
The
squid is
first
boring.
first Turkey game was quite interesting.
Turkey and
Um,
Georgia.
Georgia, yeah,
Yeah,
they looked
good
quite
game.
exhilarating, but then they just looked quite tame against Portugal.
Portugal, they were
Yeah,
humiliated.
yeah. So people saw Turkey as like, oh, okay, a team to watch, but I didn't see that in the second game.
Yeah. People are hoping for a
Who else?
disappointment yesterday. People are hoping to come and see Turkey beat
Yeah,
Portugal.
yeah, yeah. That would have been interesting. Yeah, but yeah, Germany
Much
started off
talent.
well again. But, they
Mm,
had Scotland. What was it? 4-0.
5-1.
5-1.
5-1, okay. And then when England
And that was
played
an own
Scotland,
goal.
it's always like
So
it's always
the,
even pegging. It's level pegging rather, but it's always like it's fairly even score when we play Scotland or England plays Scotland. But again,
yeah.
Germany, Scotland, that was a different show altogether. So I don't know, maybe who
So
else has stood
in
out for
your
me?
did you what did you think of the Netherlands France game? Despite ending 0-0.
That was
Did you?
I mean, we were in the pub for that, like celebrating
Right,
someone's leaving do, and that was that
right.
was a that was a ball draw. I mean, it was interesting. It was okay,
Yeah.
but I expected more goals. I expected
Yeah,
goals,
yeah,
and
yeah.
there were no goals.
I think
So it was
France missed
just
a
like a
bad
bit of
penalty.
a ball drawing in. They almost cancelled each other out.
Yes, I like
Yeah,
a game of chess.
yeah. So at
Spain,
the moment,
Italy.
Spain looked good. Yeah,
Yeah,
Spain looked
they look
good. Spain
good.
looked
That
good so
looks
far.
good.
It's all about the tiki-taka, possession-based football, which is something we try to implement, which hasn't quite worked out. But I don't know. It's group stages are kind of like, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
you've got to
yeah.
just see
Playing
it through
safe.
and then see what happens next. When it gets to knockout stage, that's when it
Mm.
really livens up.
That you're
But
very
so
correct.
far, it's been okay. There's some countries that have been in, that we didn't expect to see that have turned up in the qualifying stages and played some good football.
Mm.
Sweden, Ukraine. Oh, not sorry, was it Sweden there? Yeah,
Ukraine,
Ukraine and who's the other
Slovakia.
country? Slovakia,
Yeah.
Slovenia, Czech Republic. Um, Not so much. Croatia, exactly. Croatia have really
Croatia
fallen
been
off.
disappointing though.
Yeah,
They've
That was
been
the
but
disappointing.
first game was
yeah,
disappointing.
yeah.
They lost the
Croatia,
first game, drew
Uh,
the
Croatia
second
knocked out
game.
England a few times, didn't they?
Yeah.
But it seems like
I think they've
the two
digressed.
stars in the team are aging and
Agent,
fading.
you're right.
Perisic and Modric.
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 Yeah. So yeah, interesting. What are your guys' thoughts?
Joe, what is
Um,
there any game that have been a standout that you've like, this was a cracker, or like, oh hell, this was horrible.
to be honest, I don't think I've been very entertained, but just for footballing reasons, I haven't been that entertained from the top teams, right? The top ranked five teams. The most entertaining games that I've seen is really the Eastern European teams. The Georgia versus Turkey.
That was a good game.
Those ones, Croatia versus Albania. That was such a
Yeah,
good game, man.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
that
feel
was a
sorry for
good game.
Albania.
Slovakia versus Ukraine, the Eastern European teams have definitely the the skill level was they're catching up. I feel like they're
Yeah,
catching up.
yeah.
The top ranked teams, I feel like it's as if they're playing at the knockout stage, just playing a little bit too careful. This would be the time where
Mm-hmm.
really gold guns blazing. It's a group
Mm.
stage. We want to see goals, man, but everybody's all
Germany's
yeah,
giving you goals. Germany's giving you 7, including if you add the own goal, 8. Germany's giving 8 goals in 2 games, mate.
well, yes, I get it. Home field advantage, but let's see them do that against a top ranked team. I don't care what you do against
So they played
Scotland.
Scotland
You
and
know,
they
like,
played against who was the other team they played in the group? Let me see. Germany.
Hungary,
Hungary. Yeah. So they're gonna play
2-0.
Switzerland today. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
that's
don't
gonna be
know.
another, it
Three
is what it
points.
is. I hope they don't get gas. I still haven't seen what this German team can do with
Right. But this
better
German team, don't you
opposition.
think this German team have improved over the years? Because they've been knocked out from group stages in the last couple of World Cups. So
I
this
have
is a
no
new
confidence with
Germany.
Cal. I have no confidence with Cal Havertz at the top of the helm.
As striker.
This German team, like I just don't have a confidence in that guy.
Right.
So for him
Yeah.
to be their number one up top, when it comes to the knockout stages, they're gonna have to try to find goals from elsewhere.
But remember, this
It's
guy's also on fire. He's been playing behind cover. Musiala. He's playing
Oh,
very
it's
well.
brilliant.
Musiala's in
Really
balling.
good.
Yeah,
Very
Yeah.
good player.
Musiala is
So
definitely in
Yeah.
they've
balling.
got
So
a good
that's
team
not too.
around
Yeah, they got a good,
Havertz.
fun and a great bench too. A lot of
Mm.
people
Mm.
that can come off the bench. Great bench.
So far
Good coach.
the host have lived up to the expectation because there's a lot of pressure as the host, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely so much pressure, man. But
All right.
yeah, they'll probably do something.
It's
Right.
like they've almost got to play entertaining football to please their
Yeah,
country.
yeah,
So
100%,
You
man.
they've
have to.
started at a slightly higher notch than everyone else.
Mm.
Some of the other teams, they're almost being cautious at this
Right,
stage
right.
Very
because
cautious, yeah.
they're trying to save on their injuries
Mm.
and wait till the qualification stage or knockout stages rather to then really step it up a level because that's when the tournament football really steps up.
Definitely.
But most countries have been cautious, but Germany almost have to put on a show.
Yeah, as the host. It's,
They have
Yeah.
to.
and that's more pressure
And
still.
rightfully so.
Right.
Rightfully so.
That's
So
true.
so
Yeah.
England have played 2 games. The first game
Yeah.
was Serbia, beat Serbia
Yeah.
1-0. Bellingham header. Second game was 1-1 with Denmark, which was even more abysmal than the Serbia game. So, Vim, the Serbia game, they beat Serbia 1-0. If Serbia were better finishers, I think that game would have had a
Mm.
different complexion. What was your take on the
Yeah.
England-Serbia game, quickly?
Well, so England have been playing really entertaining football, just like Germany. I was really amazed.
What?
Joke. I'm joking. It's a joke.
Cut the screen. Cut the stream.
Bloop.
Get him out of here. Get him.
If only, right? If only.
If only.
If only. Imagine, I mean, that's what we should be saying, right? Entertaining football, but
Mesmerizing
it's
and
been the
scientific football,
opposite,
but it
absolute
had
opposite.
been the
It's
opposite, mate.
lethargic, clueless, trying to play possession football, but the team don't look 100% subscribed to the methods of the manager. They don't seem to believe in the system. I think we've heard this all before, haven't we? All year.
Yeah,
Does it
yeah.
sound familiar?
Listen. Listen.
So,
The
so Joe,
similarities between England and Manchester United the last 13 years is crazy.
right,
It's
right.
crazy.
I,
World talent on the
hey,
pitch, but for
yeah,
some reason, we look like a third tier. We
honestly,
look like a League Two team. It's
yeah.
So,
crazy.
Yeah, but as I
so,
said, that's how I felt. Sorry, Dave, but when
mm,
I was watching these 2 games, I felt like
mm,
I was watching Manchester United.
Yeah.
to a point. Yeah, a lot of people have said that
Come on,
actually.
man. It's
I
just the
guess
It's,
which is
same.
why he's
but
linked, I guess.
Yeah.
but the thing here is with England, what I've seen in the 2 games, every time they score, they go back into a show like we've done our job. We're just gonna sit on this, and you cannot sit on a goal, not one goal against these teams. Denmark could have beaten them easily. England were there for the taking against Denmark easily, because
Do you know
when
what?
Denmark got that equalizer, it was
Yeah,
lights out for England.
but that's what the commentators have been saying. But I think that as soon as you step up a notch against England, they
Mm,
don't know how to cope. And the
yes.
same with Manchester United. If you apply a little bit of pressure, they can't cope.
Mm,
England have almost like one mode of operating. They go into first or second gear, but they can't seem to step into third gear. They
right,
don't seem to know how to step into third gear.
right.
That as soon as we score a goal, the opposition steps it up. As soon as they step it up, England can't cope. The narrative is that England becomes defensive. It doesn't know how to cope. The fact is they're forced to become defensive
Right.
because they're on the back foot and they can't regain control.
Yeah, you're very correct. You could see that from both games. Serbia just could not finish. They just cannot get a goal to them. They can't finish. Denmark know how to finish. You saw the guy Harman
But that was
scored.
a great
That was
strike.
a cracker, bro. That was a cracker. 27 yards out. There was no way. Pickford didn't see that boy. He saw it like,
No.
yeah. But it was all Denmark up to that point. It was when the minute England scored, it's like they just, all right, we're done. We're going on vacation. And Denmark literally took the game, was 55% possession to England's 45, which is surprising to a point. And they had all the big guns on the field. It wasn't like anyone else. Look at these guys. And whatever, mate.
No, I'm just copying Joe.
If I put sunglasses, I probably won't even see where I'm pressing or clicking on. But yeah. No, keep on, mate. It's good.
It matches
England
matches the sleeveless shirt.
So England have not been great, but is there more to come from England, Joe? Do you think England could? I mean, the Denmark game showed it all. Like literally showed England are not as good as they're perceived to be.
The only way England turns this around, it's because of one man and one man only. Gareth
Who's
Southgate needs to be brave enough because his starters are not performing right now. He needs to be brave enough to make changes. You got Cole Palmer, you got what's that, Gordon, you have Ollie,
Ollie.
Oli.
The Aston Villa guy.
Yeah, that's the kid. Start these guys. He might have to drop Kane.
Yeah.
He might have to bring in Manu. You gotta change that midfield.
He has been making subs. He's taking off Kane. He's taking off.
Yo,
I think Foden has been.
What's the name of that? What's the name of that from Chelsea? He keeps bringing in the 16.
Palmer.
No, not he hasn't been bringing
Gallagher.
in Palmer.
Gallagher.
Yeah, he loves Gallagher.
Gallagher is not the answer. What the?
No,
fuck
he's not
is
the
that,
answer.
Man?
That's our go-to guy, isn't it? He's our go-to guy.
Why?
I have no idea why. The guy can't even score.
Wait a minute, Tim. I have to ask for Tim and Vim as two Englishmen, right? What was your take on Gareth Southgate's comment about
oh my god, I know what it is. Trent.
The
Terence Trent D'Arby.
No, not Trent. Not Trent. The midfielder that failed at City.
Foden.
No, not Grealish. No,
Foden.
The one that Pep was not fucking with at all, and they sold him. Or they put. What was his name?
Where is he now?
I think he came out of
Cole Palmer.
Leeds. No, he came from Leeds.
Oh, Calvin Phillips.
Yes.
Yeah. The experiment.
Southgate was like, Southgate was like, was struggling because we don't have a Calvin Phillips in the midfield.
Yeah.
That comment.
That's crazy.
Tim,
I know,
and
he's experimented with Terence Trent D'Arby.
We play with Trent Alexander in midfield, who's a normal defender. I can't understand how that is, because Trent cannot even keep the ball, pass the ball properly. He's always looking for that long cross. And I'm thinking like, bro, what is this guy doing? And it is making Declan Rice have to work twice as hard. And Bellingham doesn't know whether to stay up front or come and help the midfield, because they're struggling in the midfield. Because Denmark were running right through that midfield like a Snickers bar on a chainsaw. It was just right through it. The midfield just didn't even exist against Denmark. Sad. But Slovenia had to win to qualify, and they're going to give England a very hard game. I can see that game.
Mate, I can see Slovenia winning it. Honestly, I think they look better than us.
Slovenia have not lost any games. They've just drawn both.
Yeah.
They drew against Denmark. They drew against.
They play intense.
Serbia.
They play with intensity. They play with purpose.
So England need to get it together, because
England is in the same situation Manchester United. Against a well-drilled team, they're gonna have problems. And Gareth Southgate is playing, and like I was saying, it's the similarities. He's playing this team as a moment of brilliance team. That's what
they've only scored 2 goals.
Right,
they've only scored 2 goals in 2 games.
I'm telling you, man.
So that's not good enough.
It's scary. This team, it's worse than the last Euros team.
Yeah.
This England team, it's worse. No, not kind of. it's worse.
It's
Remember,
worse.
they
It is
also, they
worse. It
also,
is
I
worse.
saw,
it is
I
worse. It is worse.
England had much
Remember, there's no
larger.
Grealish. They don't have a ball carrier per se.
So
Yeah,
Why he didn't
that's the
take Grealish?
question. Yeah, that's another topic, mate. Was that a mistake leaving Grealish out?
I
Because
think
for
it
me,
is.
when I saw him off the squad, I think, what the hell are you doing, Southgate?
Yeah.
This guy
So
can hold the
who
ball.
is
He
he
can hold the
playing in
ball.
place of Grealish? Who is he thinking is better than Grealish?
Uh,
Because I can't see anyone so far.
I
I
don't
would
I
have
don't
left Gallagher,
understand.
would have left Gallagher's ass at home and brought Grealish. I don't
Yeah.
care.
I don't know if he had an agenda
Well, what
against. I
about
can
Luke
understand
Shaw?
Rashford. I can under
What
and
about
they're
Luke
missing Luke
Shaw?
Shaw. They're missing Luke Shaw
Don't
down the
get me.
left
Yeah.
because of
So
injury.
Don't
there's
get.
no cover for Luke Shaw apart from
Trippier is one who's
Trippier,
right-footed,
and
who's
who
a
doesn't even play on
right-footed.
the left back. So why don't you just leave Luke Shaw at home, give him some more time off, and play PS4 or whatever he's doing, PS5,
Is he in
and
the
bring
squad?
Grealish? Well, isn't he in a PS5 competition now,
Yeah,
FIFA or
fine.
something?
Big. I had to
What's
think
Luke?
like
What's Luke Shaw?
PS5.
What's Luke Shaw doing with his life? I ain't seen him for a whole year.
Exactly,
I
man.
think he went on holiday with Rashford.
So,
Yeah.
so okay, Joe. Quick question: Are England missing Rashford?
No.
No,
Dang, this guy didn't even figure. Okay, are they missing
no.
Grealish?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah, you can see there's a
yes.
difference in quality. I saw. Did you
That's
guys see the post Rashford's brother posted that
What did he
it
say?
hurt? He said it hurts my heart to see England playing badly when I know the guy who would have made the difference is not there.
Mate,
I'm
that
like,
is just PR
well.
bullshit.
my
PR
Jesus
friend,
Christ.
my friend
bullshit.
said
These
this guy is
Mate,
these family
delusional.
you want a
members.
marketing guy? That's what you want the marketing guy to say.
Oh my
That's
God.
PR
I wish
bullshit.
these guys would just tell their family to shut the fuck up, man.
I know.
You
So
because
my friend said
no
this
matter
guy's delusional.
That's PR,
because
mate. PR is
it never makes
delusional.
it, but it never makes family members look good. It never it like I get the intention, but it's always the opposite react. It's always the opposite
See,
result,
the thing
right?
is,
Because
right?
we watched. Mhm.
Go on, sorry, Joe.
Go ahead.
Good.
Because we've been watching England in the run up to the Euros.
Yes.
England wasn't like going crazy and scoring all over the place while Rashford was on the pitch. So
Yeah.
I don't know where this revisionist history came from. Like they was balling out of control. If he was balling out of control, if he was like a completely different person, like Harry Maguire is when he's got the English shirt, if he was like a different person, right? Forget his because we already know Southgate is the type of man. He doesn't really care what your form is in club football. If you're balling English shirt, he'll keep you. So I don't know where his brothers
So,
from.
I'm
It's
just going to
fucking
interject here,
ridiculous.
right? So, with Rashford playing, that's obviously more income coming in. And who's going to benefit directly from that? It's going to be his entourage and his brother. So the brother has to be pushing out the narrative. Yes, you've got to take Rashford. You've got to keep that brand value up. You've got to keep that
Yeah,
value up to
yeah,
keep
yes,
him in the spotlight.
yes, very true.
Even though he probably knows in his heart that he's had a shit season and he's not going to
He's
play
had a shit
good
season.
football,
It's so
tournament football,
obvious.
he
Anyone knows
has
that
to
he
still
hasn't.
push him forward because that's extra dollars
Yes,
or pounds,
yeah, very true.
right?
I mean, I think England's failing so far is because certain players have not really hit the mark. Foden has been very poor both games. He's been poor.
Oh my
This is
God.
supposed to be the player of the year who was voted player of the year. I think he's been poor. I think Saka has been poor. Yes, he made one cross that Bellingham scored, but it took a deflection. But Saka has not been great. Foden has been poor. Harry Kane is not really getting a lot of service. Bellingham played one good game against Denmark. He completely disappeared. Completely. He was nowhere to be found. But it's like you said, when Denmark brought the intensity to England, England couldn't handle it. They scored the goal. Denmark said, all right, we're coming. And Ericsson, at his age, was orchestrating the forward line and that midfield. And they were running rings on England's side.
He
If not
played
for
the whole
Pickford,
game.
England would have lost that game because Schmeichel had only one shot to save in the whole game. Pickford had 3, 4 saves to make. It shows how intense Denmark were, you know. But that game's passed. They got a draw. The press, at least Alan Shearer said it. England were abysmal. Like he doesn't know what they're doing. Why is Trent in midfield? Like why is the attack so bad? It was non-existent. But at least some of the pundits are not lying now. They're saying like, no, this is BS. This is not good enough. But you still have the few who are saying, it's too early. By the time if Slovenia beat them next week, this week, if Slovenia beat them and Denmark win, England out. Just like that, England out.
The fact that Ericsson was able to play almost an entire game against England, that right there just shows you that game should have been so intense. There was no way Ericsson should have been able to handle speed of England for almost an entire game. He should have had to have been dropped at least by the 60th minute. But England allowed them to play. And it's crazy. But
they didn't have any options to them. They didn't know what to do against Denmark. They didn't know what to do.
Well, shout out, because it seems that with the way England is looking now, the honeymoon season is over. Even Gary Lineker is just flat out criticized Harry Kane. That's another one that's been going under the radar.
Yeah.
Where we're watching the demise of Harry Kane, all just trying to ignore England. Is like,
but they keep talking about Ronaldo, but they're not talking about Harry Kane. And I think it's quite what you call the bias and hate towards Ronaldo. They're focusing on Ronaldo and Portugal. Look at England. Focus on your own country, your own main striker. Think about it. Harry Kane was pulled off because he was ineffective against Denmark. Yes, he got the one goal, which was the funny thing was that Danish right back. He got his pocket picked by Kyle Walker. He was looking around. They took the ball from him, made the cross. Harry Kane chipped it in. But after that mistake, England never looked like scoring a second goal, apart from the shot that Foden hit. After that,
that's when they went on back foot.
Yeah.
But yes, Harry Kane, he does drop deep, and there's lots of problems. But you almost feel like the conductor of all of this is not conducting.
So who should be conducting that midfield? Who should be running that midfield?
Well,
Declan Rice?
First of all, the conductor is the manager. And what type of system are we playing? He seems to almost let the team do what he wants to do. Probably too much. Because he's asked post-interview, did you want your team to do this? No, not at all. So what do you want your team to do? What is the strategy here? What is the tactical game plan? And I think that he's a manager that's devoid of tactical game plans. Because I haven't seen it in the past few tournaments. When we had a chance to turn over Italy at the final here in Wembley, we had the chance to win, and all Italians thought we should have won it. But he's devoid of tactical game plans.
So if you go 3 years forward, or 2 years, how long ago was that? Was that 2020 or 2021?
I think it was 2020, wasn't it? Yeah.
So how
it was turmoil here. I was outside when we lost the final. It was like there was going to be riots here. Like when the whole town or the whole city just turns into like some kind of war zone. People are angry. It's like it's going to turn into almost riots were going to happen. Police were overrun.
Since then and the last World Cup, because there was some jobs who bomb rushed into certain parts of Wembley in that game. Since the Euros final and the World Cup, they were disappointing. Have England improved, or they've gone digressed?
No, they should have got rid of Southgate when we lost the Italy final. I think it's pretty evident that he doesn't know how to win or clinch the most vital games, which is the same problem we had with Oli in the Europa League final. They just didn't know how to clinch it. And I think that there are managers who can take you up to a certain point, but they just don't have that tactical nous to get you over the line.
Kind of like a Pochettino. Take you there, but can't get you there.
Yeah, it's like
get
you there,
but
can't take the trophy away. Where he doesn't know how to take. Yeah, exactly. Get to third base, and unfortunately, these managers are found out early on. And the FA, I don't know what the FA are doing. There must be some old fat cats who are just comfortable with just keeping things, within the status quo. I almost think that they keep Gareth Southgate there because he's a good. He's a good media guy. He's a good media guy. He's well spoken. He sounds very English, and he's well spoken. He handles interviews well. He sounds good in front of the camera. When after a loss, he comes out and the commentator says, "Okay, that was a really honest interview. He was quite genuine." But the fact is that there's no game plan ever talked about.
All that's going to change if they get knocked out this week.
It's like he's so nice you can't turn on him. So there are probably other managers out there. But this is football, right? Well, the country desperately wants this team to go and win a tournament. And you put Mr. Nice Guy in front of the camera, and it will all, subdue. It will subdue the whole nation. So, what is going on here? Is the FA saying we're happy to take you up to a certain point, a third base, and fall off because we'll generate tons of revenue for shirt sales and get the media hype going, get everyone interested in, as a
It's like
nation and spend
30
lots of money,
million
but we
people
can't
watch
win
the
your
England game.
tournament. Yeah.
30 million
Do you,
viewers
how many?
on
Three
BBC.
zero.
BBC,
Yeah.
no,
So
13 million watched
all
the
of that is
game on BBC.
huge amounts of revenue, huge amounts of revenue. But does the FA care enough to say, well, we've got a nice manager, but we haven't got a manager that can win, and we've seen it already. So what are
I
they
think this
playing
is his
at?
last chance, actually, if they don't
This
win
is
the
his last
tournament.
chance, but they
I
should
think
have
he's
known
done.
from the from the Italian game that he can't win the tournament because he's too slow to react.
Right.
This is imagine being at the final and being a manager, and you've got 20 or 30 minutes to turn the game around and go and win this game. When you've got momentum and you don't do anything, you hesitate. What does that tell you? The most crucial game in your life, and you hesitate. You almost get stage fright.
Very correct.
I think
You
I
are
think
so correct.
it was very telling to me that he doesn't know what to do in those
Right.
final stages or the most
I can
crucial
see.
moments.
No, so I
But
mean,
anyway,
the
that's my
other
take
the
on it.
other Great Britain candidate there, Scotland, who were demolished 5-1 by Germany. They had a very good game. Our boy McTominay gave them a good start against Switzerland, a country known for cocoa clocks and sweet chocolates. But they played some very good football, Switzerland. I mean, I think they're very good they're very methodical. I thought Scotland were able to beat them, but for some reason, Scotland's football is, I can't define Scotland's football actually. It's kind of like rush and go, kick and rush.
Just talentless.
Yeah, and I do feel sorry for them because the lack of talent is not like compared to England's talent, which is abundant. But I mean, there's England are still further ahead of Scotland in terms of football levels. But end of day, there's no one any tournaments with all the good
Okay,
players you have.
In the second game,
I'm
who was their best player on the pitch?
For
Scotland.
England,
No,
Scotland,
Scotland. Who's the best player on the pitch in
it
the
wasn't
second game?
McTominay.
Not the first
Switzerland?
game, the second game.
Um,
And he's a player. He's a player that plays for the club Les Blues in England.
Le Blues in
Yeah.
England?
Right.
are you
Or
talking of what's his name?
I say Les Blues because it's a club that wears blue.
Leicester?
Come on. Billy
No.
Gilmore, Chelsea.
Billy Gilmore, a Peaky Blinders character?
Peaky Blinders.
What's his name?
Peaky Blinders,
Billy
that's
Gilmore,
funny.
Scottish footballer, plays for. Oh my God, he's moved on. He's gone to Brighton and Hove Albion.
Yes, he has gone to Albion.
He was a Chelsea player.
He's left. He has
Oh
left.
shit. So
Yeah.
Billy Gilmore was left out of the squad for the first game, and they suffered quite badly against Germany. He came on in the second game,
And
and he controlled that midfield.
He's a very good player. He's
And
a very good player.
he looks like a little kid, but he's 23 years old. But he controlled that midfield and he dominated it. And he was almost playing like a Modric type of role. And they played extremely well. And you have to bring on little kids with talent to have an effect.
Scotland don't have a big pool. They don't have a big pool.
They don't have a lot of talent, no. So they've got
So McTominay is their Ronaldo. McTominay is their Ronaldo.
Yeah, they've got our McTominay there, but he
scored he hit a good shot, a good left foot shot.
But you see the difference? It's like night and day. Scott McTominay and Billy Gilmore, it's like night and day. McTominay doesn't know how to control that midfield. He doesn't know how to play that midfield role.
He should not be playing that position.
But, I mean, the goal he scored, it was a cutback, and he went in there with his left foot. He smashed it. Yes, it took a deflection, but the goal was given to him because it was still going straight before it took a deflection. If it was going wide and it got deflected, then it's an own goal. But it was given to him. So Switzerland are a very organized team. They are very organized. I don't know.
Can I ask a question about Scotland? Its proximity to England. What is going on about the development of players in Scotland, where they're not producing as much fruit? I understand that they have
back in the day they used to.
They have a much smaller population. So
yeah,
what's going on? Is their development in Scotland not working, or is it that
before, back in the day, back when I was growing up, you had the likes of Souness, Douglas, Allen Hansen. There's some great players who came across the border to come and play in England, and they became great players. But what it is now, because most of the players stay in Scotland, play for Celtic, Rangers, and those two main teams don't use Scottish homegrown. They mostly use foreign players now because
Yeah.
of the European tournaments they go into. But you have other teams, St. Mirren, Aberdeen, Hearts, all those guys, all local teams. But the talent coming through is not good enough. It's just good enough for Scottish league level.
Yeah.
So it's like the scrounging, looking for players who are just good enough to make a team. That's how
So
bad the development.
most scouts have to go to England. That's what you're saying.
Yeah,
Most
to
scouts have to
improve
go to England to
improve their
develop their
brand.
game.
Yes, to improve themselves because locally the two main teams is Scotland, Rangers and Celtic, and
Those are
those
just
two
not bad.
teams don't have a lot of Scottish players anymore as they used to. It's mostly foreign players they have now because those two teams mostly play Europa League or Champions League. Celtic's always in Champions League, even though they don't come out the group stage ever. But it's still they're in Champions League because they either always win the league title in Scotland. But the players they have are not mostly not Scottish based players. That's so the development has completely been so bad. And the same thing with Ireland as well,
Oh,
you know.
okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So but England has the money, the development, the structures, the schools to put all this, but we still haven't won a tournament still.
Yeah, but so this is why it's kind of puzzling, right? Because the FA are spending a lot of money on grassroots football. They're
Grassroots,
producing a lot of
yeah,
five-side pitches over here.
yeah.
They spend a lot of money on getting young kids into playing football and
Yeah.
joining lots of little clubs and mini teams. So they clearly want us to all play football, especially the young kids.
Mm.
But then you put a manager like Gareth Southgate in a job which he does well in up to a certain point, but they keep persisting with it. So, is their finger not on the pulse? This is the confusing stuff, right?
Mm.
That the FA that they do all of this to sort out, the English team, but they know that well, in my view, is a bit of a failure as a manager of club. And I'm sure you guys can all see it, and it's pretty evident now. As your
I'm
background
seeing
says.
I'm seeing the same thing in England that I'm seeing in the United States.
Yeah.
Gareth Southgate is one of the boys.
Watch the show
He's
we
one of
did
the
earlier.
boys.
When I
They're
posted,
hot.
watch it. Louis really went deep
Yeah.
into US soccer in terms of
Yeah.
like we talked about the women's USA because the women's USA over the last 5, 10 years were the dominant football team in terms of women. They were not the most technical, but the most physically fit and the most tallest and strongest. But what other teams now is they've raised the skill and are bringing up stronger and physical players to match US. So USA is going down. Those other European countries are getting better. Look at the Spanish women's team. They were on another level completely. They won the under
Do you
17, under 20, and the women's. They won all three tournaments.
The United States for a very long time was able to take advantage of the lack of investment in women's football
You are
throughout the
very
entire
correct.
planet.
Yes.
They were playing teams that were just like scrapped together.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Just to put a presence there.
And you're playing against girls, women that have been playing football for at least 10 years, going into, their primary school age and up. So with that level of level of lopsided development, you're always going to have success on the United States side. But it's that the rest of the world is starting to catch up. I mean, I think it's even better for U.S. women's football so that it's not going to be enough to just have the best and technical players anymore because everybody's catching up. Their coaching has to be, their medical has to be, they have to be better too. So it only elevates the women's game as well. So that's good.
He said the one thing because Vim. I don't know if you know Louis. He's a youth developer for kids talent in America. He coaches kids in American football. So he said what has happened in both
American
men
football or American football?
American soccer. So he said what has happened with both men and women in USA, like over the years, they've always done fitness and physicality as number
Mm-hmm.
one before skill level.
I
So
see.
what now? Other teams' skill level has already gone up. So now they're
Yeah.
now adding physical fitness to the skill, which US lacks. So
Right.
in US are now like, oh shit, we're not as good as we used to, especially the women's side, because these teams are now becoming more fit. Because back in the day, you had women playing for Japan used to have a very good women's team. But those women are five, the tallest person would be there 5'6", and you're playing women in America were 5'11", 5'8", 5'9".
So
But
what are you saying? A skill was afterthought or
the
physicality was
US
afterthought?
never developed skill as a number one. It was more
Skill was an afterthought. Okay.
physical and trained. The fitness was number one. Other teams
Okay.
were skill. Now the other teams have increased the skill to now physical and fitness on top of the skill which America lacks.
Mm.
Yeah, that's why.
Another
There
thing
is
I would say.
there is different mindset there, isn't it?
Oh
Because
yeah.
like almost with the
Right.
Olympics as well, but you've almost got to have your physical ability, athletic ability, top notch. Your fitness
Oh
has
yeah.
got to be number one for you
100%.
to be the best in the sport. But
Oh, without that.
maybe a skill as comes later. I don't
Mm.
know. Is that an American thing where your
I
fitness
mean,
has got to
Joe
be
could say more
the
about it because
most
Americans have always had, like,
in
if you look
prime
at
position?
USA teams in the past, they don't have you won't have a guy who's literally a good dribbler who could do. There's always a guy who could run, has the endurance to run 120 minutes. He had the physical presence. It was like the old English style of football, whereby it's got to be big and strong as a center back.
Yeah.
That mentality. Than
That
like
Brighton ball.
yeah, But football has changed, whereby look. I mean, take away the corruption in La Liga. You remember the Barcelona team? They were not the tallest guys. They were not tall at
No, they
all.
weren't. They were all little
But they
guys. But how does it work with American football, though? Is American football all about physicality and
90%, yes.
athleticism as opposed to
Yes.
skill, or is there a lot of
Yes.
skill involved in American football?
Now they realize they need the skill to match this because other teams
No,
had
but
the skill.
as in, that shape football, not that shape
Yeah,
football.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
The American NFL football.
Mm.
Is there a lot of skill involved, or is it
Oh,
all
Joe
what
about
are
can
you talking
Joe can
about?
answer
physicality?
that.
No. It's skill, right? The technical abilities that's you see a bunch of guys just clashing into each other,
Yeah,
but there's actually a lot of tech. There's a certain way you have to hit people. You can't hit people. I mean, or there are certain ways you got to hit people to protect yourself
yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah,
opponent.
yeah.
You know, it's basically a game of aggression. You're trying to stop them from reaching either like
Hmm.
the scrimmage or the
Touchdown
down.
end zone.
So like it's a completely different set of skill sets that
Mm.
you're not going to see in American football, because one, you can use your hands, everything like that. But to go back to United States, I think United States still has a problem with gatekeeping football to just middle class and upper middle class Americans.
Mm.
A lot of these kids, they need the technical ability, but they're unable to get into development clubs and development schools at a very early age, because the price to get into those, it's like, that's why you don't see football in a city. That's why you only see football in the suburbs.
Yeah.
Right? And a lot of these guys, they're not that, they could be dedicated to the sport, but they're not your best athletes.
Yeah.
These kids don't have the hunger that you get from the inner city.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing
They're in there to go there and
players
get paid.
Yes, I'm not seeing enough investment in the inner city in football, and that like England has. So when you have that hunger, right? That's gonna be that's a driving factor in the way you run, how physical you are. I mean, look at some of our best players. Some of the top players in the world, where did they come from? Humble beginnings.
Yeah.
That hunger does not exist.
Mm-hmm.
You have people in the US team whose parents have been part of the US
Establishment.
establishment for years.
Yeah. So they're from money.
It's just rubber stamp.
Yeah.
It's like,
which is what's happening over here as well. These footballers in the Premier League, they're earning so much money, they don't know what it means to be poor and to be struggling and to have hunger. But I think the burning question is, and I'm sure you guys are both supporting England, what the hell is going on with England? Why is it backfiring? Why is it not working?
I think you have a collection of talented players. Yes, there are talented players, but it's how to use them against, especially like Joe said, when the formation is not working. How quick can you change and switch formations to make it effective? It's like if one formation is not working, they're like, okay, let's just hang in there, hope something works. But the more you're hoping and waiting, the other team is changing formation, making more subs to change to beat you. But you're there
So we're
like,
not dynamic.
no, we're not. We are reactive and not proactive. That's the difference. That's why Denmark outplayed them. That's the reason why. The only reason Serbia couldn't is because Serbia can't finish for their life. That's the problem.
Yeah, we got lucky there.
No, you see, but
England football has no spices, no curry. It's
like you
potatoes
said, why
and
would they
baked
not take someone
beans.
like
That's all
Grealish
it is.
along? Why would they not take
Yeah.
Grealish?
Grealish is yes. Grealish is sauce. Grealish is a little bit of spice. That's what you
Yes.
need.
Did he
Yeah.
ever give a
Gareth
reason?
Southgate was like, "Oh, that's too much." No, I don't
No,
want none
but
of
you
that.
know what he said about that? He said
What did he say?
he didn't
Yeah.
actually, because you know the fact is the media here has been censored, right?
Really?
No one is talking about Grealish not going to the Euros
Yeah, I
on
noticed.
any
Why?
television program in this country. It's just not talked about. It's like they've been given this I don't know what you call it, these cues. Do not talk about Grealish. Don't
No
mention
disclosure.
Grealish. Yeah, no one is allowed to talk about it. It's almost like there's a forbidden list. Do not discuss this topic. But the fact is that what and I listened very carefully to what Gareth Southgate says, and he said that we all talked it over about who to take in the squad and who to leave out. It was very difficult, and we all discussed it collectively. And obviously, this is the management team, maybe the FA. I don't know what's going on, but they've collectively decided it's not being Gareth Southgate's pure, own single decision. Maybe if he was powerful enough, he would say, "Yes, I want this guy." So there's something weird going on there because the British media will not speak about not taking to Grealish. The whole country, most of the country probably wants Grealish to go because of what he can do. But it's like it's all suppressed, very suppressed.
Hmm.
So there's some weird shit going on, and I don't know what's going on.
Right. Okay. I mean, England will play Slovenia, and we'll know their faith in 2 days' time because it is what it is.
Mm.
But other than that, I saw there was a guy I saw play for Spain, a black guy. His name's Nico
Oh
Williams.
yes,
He played on the
yes,
Yeah,
wing
Nico.
for
yeah,
Spain.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's the
yeah.
first black guy I've ever
Mm,
seen play for
And
Spain.
the guy in
And
Portugal for left as well. He was pretty good
oh,
as
that
well.
guy was quick.
yeah.
That guy was quick. The guy for Spain, Nico
Yeah,
Williams, he
yeah,
tormented Lorenzo for the Italian right back. That guy he did not know what to do.
yeah. He was brilliant.
And we're like, where's this guy
I'd
been all
swap
this
him for
time?
Rashford, mate. I
I,
would
I,
I would
I'll
give
take him
money
any day.
to him and give Rashford.
He was
Just
Yeah,
quick,
easy.
do a
bro.
deal there.
And I tell you who's
Easy.
burning it up. I never knew, Joe, you talked about how good this guy Doku is. He's quite a good player.
Oh, mate, Doku, yeah.
Doku? Yeah,
Doku's
Oh
listen.
my,
always
and
dangerous.
Listen.
this guy
Doku.
single-handedly tormented Romania just yesterday. I like, damn,
Yeah.
this guy's good.
But
He's
he
got, he's
torments
got
us
this
as
good.
well.
Yeah, he did torment
As soon as he
Wan-Bissaka.
comes
If,
on for
if,
the
if,
FA Cup, remember, they scored a goal.
Yeah, he
well,
tormented Wan-Bissaka a
whoa,
few
whoa, whoa,
times.
whoa, whoa. That's okay. I think Wan-Bissaka did a very good job.
Oh, without a doubt.
He
And
did,
if it
he did,
wasn't,
he
if
did,
and,
he
and
did.
it was an Onana mistake that led to that goal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He didn't do anything special. That there was no reason that ball should have gone in. That was
No.
Onana's fault.
But I
So
tell
I
you,
feel
probably
like
if Doku
if you
has
have a
started, if Doku has
if Doku had
started,
started, you know what? To be honest, hey, I got confidence in my man. I've seen Wan-Bissaka shut motherfuckers down entire games. So you can't tell me if Doku would have just gotten more tired, he would have gotten more frustrated,
Yeah.
and that's where I look at. I got confidence in Wan-Bissaka. Like that's one of those kind of things about having somebody like Wan-Bissaka on your team.
I saw
He is
Belgium. I saw Belgium
a
beat Romania
specialist.
yesterday 2-0. Your boy, your favorite player of all time, Lukaku. He's got a good goal, but it was disallowed the VAR. Just his shoulder, the line that I said, poor lad. I mean,
Yeah.
he's been under a lot of scrutiny for Belgium, and De Bruyne
Rightfully
came out.
so.
De Bruyne played very well. He wasn't substituted from like the first game that they lost,
But
but
Lukaku, it just reminded you of the Lukaku at Man United. He was always going offside.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that, but he was
yeah,
always
yeah,
going
It's
offside for
yeah.
us, and he was
it's
always
the same guy.
a little bit
He's gotten better. He's
slower.
gotten better. He holds it. He tries to
Got
hold
him
the
better.
van.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he definitely improved when he left Man United, but I just remember that he was always a little bit off the mark.
Yes.
In terms of just going offside, or
Yeah.
he was slow
Yeah.
to
Very true.
react.
Yeah.
Like you'd expect a striker to be running around the box or moving to space to receive the ball. I still see the same Lukaku because he's a big guy, you know.
Yes.
He's not super fast.
Yeah, they
But I
well.
need to come back to your Wan-Bissaka point. So Wan-Bissaka, he seemed to be like the only right back that could deal with Doku, as far as I could see. Doku's a very dangerous character.
Oh, that guy was.
Wan-Bissaka only earns £90,000 a week, yeah, which is much lower than what the other players earn. And we're trying to offload him for 10 million, even though we bought him for 50 million. Do you not think it'd be a good decision
squad
to keep
player?
him? Yeah, as a squad player, just to keep him on 90 grand a week.
If he's happy,
because he can defend,
if he's happy to be that specialist, the only thing I worry about Wan-Bissaka is he
26 years old as well.
And the way we play with Wan-Bissaka is entirely different with the way we play with Dalot on the right side.
Yeah.
So like what we can't. That's my only thing with Wan-Bissaka. Either he has to improve his game to the point where we can get a little bit out of him, a little bit out of some of the things that we see in Dalot on the right side in that relationship with our right winger, whether it's Garnacho, whatever. Until we see that, if he's happy with just being that specialist guy that comes in whenever we have a Doku or another, quick winger coming in, if he's fine with that, and I'm fine with him. But
I think
to be honest, the right back position, I say we don't touch it. Let's concentrate. Let's concentrate on the left back.
But you see, there are two different types of right backs. Dalot is more of an offensive right back, and Wan-Bissaka is more of a defensive right back. So I would see that you, depending on the phase of the game and what stage you are at, if you've got a 2-0 lead or something like that, or a 2-1, and you're trying to go into a defensive strategy, you bring on Wan-Bissaka and you let Dalot have a rest, because Dalot has improved a lot, becoming defensively. He's improved a hell of a lot. In the beginning, he was a purely offensive right back, almost like a right wing back. Whereas Wan-Bissaka's always been a defensive, purely defensive right back, and he doesn't have anything else in his repertoire. Yeah. So as a backup for right back, purely defensive work, and when you've got threats coming on like Doku, Wan-Bissaka is actually a good solution. And at 26 years old, where's he going to go and play his trade? He's going to eventually burn out at some point.
Yes.
We know he's not the most vocal of characters. He doesn't seem to gel incredibly well. I don't know what I mean. He seems to be very quiet, a very quiet character. He could just see out the rest of his career at Man United, and he's not an expensive option. He's quite a cheap option, to be honest, relatively speaking, compared to what we pay for other players. I would see him as a good person to stay at the club.
I think there's plenty of teams that would love a Wan-Bissaka, especially in Italy. Those more defensive-minded
defensive
leagues. Yeah, like they would love him. They would love him in Italy, man. Where like if you have him like some mid to top level team, he's the guy that
actually doesn't Jose Mourinho want him in Turkey? I think inquiries have been made. He wants to go. Mourinho wants him.
I wouldn't go to Turkey. No, that's.
Are you guys thinking of offloading him? Would you offload him?
I would not offload him right now because that's not our priority.
Tim,
our priority is the left back and center back position.
Keep him, yeah.
We'll keep him.
So when I saw Doku for Belgium yesterday, I was watching it close. He has a low center of gravity, so it doesn't fall over quick, and he has those feet whereby he has that kind of Iron Robin close ball control dribbling, whereby the ball is.
But he slows it down. What he does, he faces up to you.
Yeah,
and then he slows the ball down and he rolls it slowly.
I even
rolls it in one direction slowly. He rolls it slowly in one direction, and then quick turn of pace, bang.
Romania they didn't know how to handle the guy. They put two guys, they still couldn't get him. Yeah. I even put a poll. John, I don't know if you saw it. I said, is his skill level higher than Marcus Rashford's skill level? Did you see that poll?
Why would you even post something?
It's just a question. It's a question. I don't know.
Is water wet? What are you talking about, man? Let me see that poll.
What you're making a comparison between Doku and Rashford?
Yeah. Who has a higher skill level?
My God. That can't be not serious. It can't be a serious question. It cannot be a serious question.
Really? Like, I didn't even see the poll. Like my mind just completely.
So
where did you put it on the United Road?
No,
Did
no,
you
on
write that?
Houston Reds.
You wrote it.
Yeah,
Did you
I
ask
put
that
it up.
question?
Yeah, I wanted to
My
see because
God.
you have the Rashford, the pro
Oh
Rashfords.
yeah, the Rashford lovers. Yeah,
Yeah, so I wanted
yeah.
to see, and yeah, it is what it is.
And what was the response?
I didn't even vote for them, but I think I already knew the answer. So
Was that in
Just for right
United
somebody,
now,
Road?
there isn't a single person that has voted for Rashford.
Yeah, people see sense now.
so
It's
Belgium are not a bad team.
Yeah,
They played well yesterday. They have a good goal, a good set of good players. They have Tillesman. He scored the first goal for them yesterday. That ex Leicester
yeah.
now playing for who does he play for now? Tillesman. I know he left Leicester City. He plays is it
And we
Everton.
we could have got him as well for some decent
Yes,
money, right?
I remember a goal he scored when Maguire made a mistake under Ole,
Yeah.
and this guy scored a cracker again. We got beat there
He
5-2
plays for
that day.
Aston Villa.
Yeah, he
yeah.
played very well yesterday. So Belgium are they got the
27
first
years old.
they got the first 3 points yesterday after they lost the first game.
Mm,
De Bruyne still trying his best. He scored a very beautiful goal. So
Great goal.
Belgium are not out of it just yet.
no, but
So,
Belgium did control
but
that game.
everyone in that group, you know what? Everybody has
Yeah,
3 points. Everybody's beating everybody in that group.
yeah.
So that's a funny one in that group.
It was, I think it was a good performance from Belgium, though.
Mm,
But I don't think they've got that killer instinct to go and see out the biggest of games. They seem
yeah.
to be lacking, and maybe that's partially down to Lukaku. I'm not entirely sure,
Oh,
but
yo, that's a bit harsh. You just want to blame it on one guy now. So
no,
let's
I'm not
switch
trying to blame
over.
on him.
He needs to
I
step
just
it up
think
though.
there's something missing with Belgium. They seem to be a good team and they're playing better than England, but they don't seem to have that killer instinct to see it out in
Right,
tournament football.
right. If
They don't.
if
They're not
England
like a
have a
Spain or
Doku,
Italy or
if England
Germany.
have a Doku, England will be fine. They don't have a
Yeah,
Doku.
if we had a Doku, yeah.
Foden has been poor.
No,
Let's call it as it is.
listen,
Foden has been poor.
it doesn't matter. England has the Doku.
In
England
who?
has Doku.
In
Grealish,
who?
I think you can get that kind of performance from Grealish. You can get that kind of performance from even Foden. You guys, England does not have the tactics to utilize Doku. Doku
mm,
would look like Foden in English shirt. That's what would happen
That's a bit harsh.
With Southgate. Yeah, it's not
no,
harsh. You need
it's
to be
true.
harsh.
It's true.
This will go
They're
down
clueless.
again.
They're completely clueless.
Rio said it himself. It's hard for him to watch this team because it feels like England is repeating the same mistakes that they undid when he had the England shirt. How is it that you have all these players that play fantastic? You have all these guys that play in teams that even when they concede, they don't drop their heads. But when they wear an England shirt, they concede, they look like peak Manchester United.
They
You're
look like
right.
Manchester
Like
United, yeah.
this doesn't
You're
make any
very
sense.
correct. You're so
Heads
correct.
It does
drop.
not make any sense.
Yeah.
It does
It's
not
it's,
make any
it's
This
sense.
also
is
mental. It's
How is
also
it?
a mental. It's also a
Where's the
mental
pride in the
mental.
shirt? Where's the pride in the shirt? You're playing in Europe. You're not playing in South America or anywhere where you don't have that many. That stadium is filled with Englishmen. If
Yeah.
you can't get your
They
fucking
had
cojones
more fans than the Danish
to
fans.
fight for, if you can't fight for your own like for that badge, what are you even doing here?
So I
It's
want to add
so
something to
easy. I
that,
don't know.
Joe. Actually, I want to add something to that.
What's up?
So I can't remember if I saw it with Italy or someone else, but they had a lot of experienced players in the backroom staff or around the players, kind of almost, giving their knowledge and their insight, and doing this collectively. Like, as a country, they really care about bringing this
Right.
winning tournament football,
Right.
whereas all of our experienced heads seem to
Oh,
be
in the
working as
studio.
commentators or pundits,
Yeah.
and it's all left down to Steve Holland and Gareth Southgate and who's that chap who used to play for Chelsea, Hasselbank, and a couple of others to do it. We've got Ferdinand, we've got Shearer, we've got Gary Lineker. These guys are good tournament
Skulls.
footballers.
Yeah.
Scholes probably a quieter one. Ferdinand. These are all leaders, but they're
Michael
all
Owen.
paying big. Yeah, Michael Owen. These guys are all earning big wages working as pundits. Whereas, do you think their experience would be more valuable
Yeah. To
to the
put them in the
country
England
to be
setup.
around the squad?
It won't be
Do-
bad. It's not bad either.
Let me
Not
ask
so
you a
bad
question.
either.
do you think those guys are not trying to play those roles, or do you think the FA have not reached out to these
I
players?
think the FA has not reached out to them. That's my
So this
opinion.
is the problem.
Like
I think
I
it's the
can't
FA.
understand all the names you just named out. These guys are proud Englishmen. I cannot imagine, and they are all rich. All these guys are making money, right? During the season or whatever. I can't imagine the FA of England asking for these gentlemen for help for this English squad, and them saying no. I cannot imagine it.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, I think right now, if Ireland asked Roy Keane to come back, he's on the first flight back.
Yeah.
To help that squad. This is your country. Like, there's no fucking way that these guys would rather be in the punditry than in the locker room with these guys. Helping, because I know these guys feel guilty for what happened in the past. So I would only imagine they would to be involved in England's success. So as little roles they can play, they would want to.
And they're all upset. You can see visibly they're all upset. They're all having a dig at Gareth Southgate in an indirect way. I remember watching halftime commentators. They're all upset. We all, Ian Wright as well. They all get very upset when you play shit football. But their insight and their experience would be so helpful to this young squad. That are they purposely excluded, or is the money calling better working as a pundit, or does the FA not want to spend? How much does it mean to the FA to win this for England that they're not willing to get in, pay a few £100,000 just to get some consulting or some support from these guys?
Right. You're very correct.
I think this is about power, and this is about having accountability.
Yes.
If Gareth Southgate continues to play shit, it's going to be very hard for somebody like Paul Scholes and Rio Ferdinand to hold his tongue in that locker room.
Yes.
It's going to undermine Gareth Southgate. Yes. The mediocrity that exists in that England squad is...
Especially those who've achieved a lot in the game, people who won things.
Yeah. The mediocrity in English football is being protected by the FA. That's why. Because once you start bringing in talent, once you start bringing in winners, they're going to call you out. There's going to be the Ronaldo effect. They're going to come out. They're going to expect a certain. You're going to start hearing the same exact. These guys are going to expect these guys to play, to practice better, to practice harder, to practice longer. And some of these younger players, they might start complaining.
Right.
Some of these coaches, they might start complaining.
Let's shift gears quickly. Portugal, one of the favorites of the tournament, have played well. I mean, the first game, despite Czechoslovakia 2-1, they came yesterday against Turkey. Turkey, who, if you watch the build-up, Turkey fans came to the stadium to intimidate the Portuguese fans, outnumbered the Portuguese fans, and because of the victory over who did they play? Was it Slovenia? No, Georgia. Was it Georgia they played?
Georgia. I believe it was Georgia.
And they believed they could beat Portugal. But this Portugal team, previous from what Santos used to manage, the previous Portuguese man who's managed them for the last 2 World Cups and the last Euro, this new Portuguese team are completely different. The mentality is tougher. They attack more. They defend. They're not as defensive as they used to be. So, and there are more options. So they don't rely solely on Ronaldo. They have other options. They have those 2 guys down the left wing, Leah and the left back. These guys are quick. So they break out quick. They have Bernardo Silva. They have Bruno.
Mendes.
And one guy I'm still impressed by, Pepe, at 40, bro.
Yo, Pepe, he's still out there. I saw him. I'm like, God damn.
That guy.
The Gigi Buffon.
That guy.
Portugal, bro.
He's missed the man. If I miss the ball, I'm not missing the man. The way he was defending against young 19-year-old Turkish guys, just like, God dang, you need to watch this guy's video. This guy is, if you want to, he's that kind of guy. If you want to wear the dark art, he will play dark arts. If you want to play good football, we could do it. He could mix them both. He's a dirty player, but he knows how to.
You need the dark arts in this tournament. We need it.
So that's a player that England is missing also.
Yes, and he's a leader.
Yeah, a through and
He's a
through
leader at the
defensive
back.
midfielder. Yeah.
He's a
You see how
leader.
many dark arts are deployed on Saka
Oh yes. Oh, instantly.
because
They make sure
he's young and he's slight.
they
It
just
happens a
knock him
lot.
out. Once they shut down Foden, and what you see what Denmark did, they shut down Saka, shut down Foden. Bellingham had to go into the
That's why
defense.
Bellingham has to overcompensate. He almost has to show this physicality. Don't fuck
Yeah,
with us.
they shut him down because
We're a team to be reckoned with. That's why his first game he was really pumping it up,
right the
almost being
first
the captain, the lead of the team, saying don't treat my players like fools because
right,
I'll come at you. And we need
Denmark
that. We need that.
apparently have the tallest number of players in this tournament. Everyone there is
Who?
like five. They have the tallest number of
Denmark.
players.
Denmark. Very
Denmark, yeah,
physical team. Yeah,
very
very strong
physical,
team.
and they know how to mix it up. So Portugal now, the press has been like Joe, another one of those. I'm gonna throw you out there, Joe. It is what I got to do for this show. Ronaldo should not be in the Portugal team. What he's
Oh,
brought to the team and what the team has accomplished since they have left Santos is completely different. This Portuguese team, Ronaldo knows his role in the team. He's not saying find me, but if I'm open, find me. If I'm not open, make a way.
I'm fine with that
But
version of
the
Ronaldo.
media had the audacity and effrontery to slag Portugal and Ronaldo off. Like, why is he there?
what media? British media?
Talk sport. And I'm like, why
Talk
would they
sport. British
put
media.
Stuart Spears of all people?
That's his opinion, right?
Yeah, that's his
You know,
opinion. But when he said on Talk Sport, like Ronaldo should not be with Portugal, Portugal should not be. I'm like, really, bro? If you looked at England lately, what the fuck?
protect and deflect.
You're
That's
very
English
correct.
media.
The thing is,
Protect and
Stuart
deflect.
Pearce, he said he would bring off Foden after 22 minutes in the first game.
But
So,
Foden was
but
lost. I
I
don't know.
think he
Do
was
you
right.
think
I think he was right
Foden is
there.
tired? Do you think Foden is tired?
No, it's just ineffective.
Yeah.
But he was.
All right. So
He
Portugal,
got Player of the Year
Portugal.
award. You know, he got Player of the Year award, right?
Yeah, but that's in the city.
I don't give a
That's a team
yeah,
of stars that
that's
have been trained
with a system.
and mentally prepared to believe they're the best in the world by Pep, which is what a good manager does. He makes you believe you are the best in that position, and that's why you're selected.
You,
It's what oh God, what's it that old manager, English manager who never became English manager?
Hodgson? Where is he
Oh,
now? Who's he now? Where is
well,
he
it'll
now?
come to me soon. Sorry. No,
you
okay.
can't imagine. I can't imagine Foden listens to Southgate in the locker room the same way he listens
I don't think
to
they
Guardiola.
respect. I don't think they respect
There's no way.
Southgate.
That's
There's
too
no
bad.
way.
Brian Clough.
No, I mean, there's no
Brian
way.
Clough,
Yeah,
legend,
Brian Clough did
legend.
the same thing where he convinced players that they are the best in the world.
Yeah.
And once you have that mental belief and that self-belief that you are the best footballer in that position and you guys are the best team in the world, you go out and win competitions. And that's why Nottingham Forest went out with 2 Champions Leagues in a
Yeah,
row.
back to back. Yeah.
Pep has the same strategies. Probably Pep is almost a cut and paste. He's a cut and paste guy, or copy and paste guy. He copies and pastes the ingredients of the best managers in the world. So he's taken a little bit of Brian Clough. He's taken lots of
Fergie.
who?
Fergie. Sir Alex.
Fergie, yeah, who he looked up to, and who else?
Mourinho.
Well, I don't know Mourinho. Mourinho was more of his opposition.
Adversary. Was his nemesis.
Cruyff.
Cruyff.
Yeah. So he basically is a copy and paste guy. I'm glad he's been able to do that. But you've got to look at the past and you've got to take a bit of it and you've got to understand how to implement that in your game. So he's a copy and
Right.
paste type of guy. He's taken the best of all the managers in the world and incorporated it into his game. Yeah.
Right.
So he's not a genius in his own right. He's just learned how to apply it. Anyway, Portugal team, they've gone back to the manager that won them the Euros before, which was back in 2016, I think it was,
16, yeah, that was
under
Santos.
Roberto Martinez.
No.
No.
It was Santos.
So was it Santos?
Santos, yeah.
So Ronaldo was a key figure in that competition, but not the
Yes.
next one.
Yes.
So I read reports that they've gone back to Martinez.
No. What happened was Martinez got made Portugal manager after the World Cup.
After the World Cup.
Santos was fired after the World Cup when Portugal got knocked out by Morocco in the quarterfinals. So they
Okay.
now got Martinez, and Martinez took them through the whole qualifications to this tournament, and they literally won everything. They won
Yeah.
every single game. They
And
destroyed teams.
Martinez likes Ronaldo and he likes Pepe,
Yes.
and he kind of relies on the old school, the old guard, to bring the experience into the team, and then
Winning mentality. They'll
rely on
never give
the
up.
fast young players.
Yes.
So
That is what
you know,
England lack. That's what England lack.
I mean, look, in terms of strikers and pure out and out strikers, there aren't that many now, are there?
No,
And
not a
if
lot
you're a
around.
Portugal manager, who else would you have as an outright striker? Gonzalo Ramos. He was good in the last tournament, but he's completely
This guy's
faded.
also there. The Liverpool guy.
Yeah,
What's his name? Uh, he played for Liverpool. He was part of Klopp's team that scored logos.
Jota?
Portuguese guy.
Yeah, he's just striker. He came on against. He scored the goal. Was disallowed against Czechoslovakia. What's his name? Oh God, now I have to go pull up the squad.
Google.
Tim coming with
Who is this guy?
Tim coming with the old country names.
No,
Czechoslovakia.
yeah.
Czechoslovakia is the
They're
older.
not,
Yeah,
they're not Czech
yeah.
Republic. Czech Republic, they're not called. That's what we need them as. So Portugal played yesterday. Let me pull up that squad quickly. So Turkey was no João Felix. No, not him. There's another one. Oh God, what's his name?
You said he plays for Liverpool? Jota.
Yes.
I said Jota.
Yeah, Jota. Yeah, Jota.
Okay.
So they this Portuguese team has so many options now than before. They got Jota, they got João Felix, they have Diallo,
They got Neto.
They got Neto. There's one guy I really admire. He played for PSG. Short guy, very skillful, but he's very good player.
Goncalo Ramos.
No, Navina or Navid. Oh God, he's short. He has a mustache and a goatee.
Neves.
Is it Neves or Nif? I can't remember his name. He played for PSG.
Yeah, it's Vitinha.
Vitinha. He's a very good player. Very good
Isn't he
player.
PSG?
Yes, he plays
Yeah.
very
PSG.
well. He's a very good player. So you see, Portugal have got so many players now
They've got so
to
much
choose
talent.
from, more talent than they previously had. So that's why
Yeah,
This is
this
what-
team,
I think he's selected a good squad though. I mean,
he did. He did.
apparently the reports are saying that Portugal have got the most stars than any other
Yeah.
team.
Yeah. And they have
So
more
as
players
a manager,
based,
Roberto Manes, I think he's made a good
they've got
balance
more
there, hasn't he?
home-based players. They have more players still playing in Portugal than out of Portugal.
Yeah. Imagine having Bruno Fernandes and the City guy
It's Bernardo Silva.
Silva. Yeah. Imagine
That's-
like those two controlling midfield.
Yeah.
That's a
And they
good
have this.
midfield.
Isn't there's a guy who played for City there at the centre back along Pepe?
Ruben Diaz.
Ruben Diaz.
Yeah. So you've got experience against
They got experience,
dark
bro.
arts.
Exactly.
I think they
So-
could go far.
I think they'll go
And
far.
Leo,
They've
Rafael
already-
Leo. How do you pronounce his surname? Leo, yeah, he's a good player, man.
Yeah, they got the
Good player.
pace.
I think
Good
yes,
pace.
I think they can go far, but the quicker that manager realizes that sometimes certain games you gotta pull Ronaldo. You just have to know, bro. You have to.
They figured it out.
There's
They
a
will
lot of
figure it out.
talent waiting
I
on that
think
bench, man.
the world needs to let Portugal figure it out.
Who's the replacement for Ronaldo?
Jota
If he
or
comes
João Felix.
João Felix.
And they're not clinical. They're not.
And Ramos is not in the squad anymore.
I think he's still there. We check. You see lineups.
But either
Ramos
way,
is
I
still
mean,
in the squad.
it's
Ramos is
still
still
early
there.
to call.
He is
I
early.
somehow don't think France is going to win this tournament, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. And how do you not root for a team that's got they got Dembele.
Mbappe.
Dembele's been cooking, man. I mean,
He was cooking against
They-
Holland, but
they-
against Netherlands he struggled.
still
So
fe-
they shot him
I
down
still
quick.
feel like they have. I still feel like they have gears they haven't gotten into yet. So
Right,
that's my only
right,
thing
right.
about France.
What of Netherlands?
No, I don't think they can do it.
Depay.
Honestly, I feel like Germany are favourites. I think this is
So,
Nagelsmann's.
so if
It's
you
almost like you've got to win this tournament for
okay,
your home country. You've
Germany,
got to do it.
say you have a Germany Portugal final, who are you backing?
Germany.
Joe?
Germany who final?
If it's a Germany Portugal final, who are you backing?
Back in Portugal.
I'll back
Really?
Portugal. I think they will. I think they'll do it. I think
To
they'll do
win?
Germany. Yeah,
I'm back in
I
Portugal.
think Germany have. I think Portugal have enough experience and more
Enough
creative
experience,
players.
enough game changers,
Game changers in the
the
longer
pressure is gonna be on
on
Germany
the
so
host.
much. Yeah, you know, yeah, they have Mueller. They still have Cruz. They still got their, it being Cruz's last international tournament, probably. There's a lot of talent out there. There's a lot of experience out there.
Yep.
Yes, but if it just depends on how Portugal plays Ronaldo.
Right.
Are they gonna just continue with him on the lineup, or are they gonna make changes? Because there's a lot of talent on that bench waiting for their turn.
Yep.
This is a Portuguese team that is hopefully will finally close the book on CR7 for this international tournament.
Yeah.
This should be the last.
The thing is, I hope Roberto Martinez is not scared to drop him.
No,
If you bring CR7 into your squad and you can't drop him, then there's almost that fear that you can't touch this guy, is untouchable.
No, he should
and
be able to
that makes him a problem player, because you need to be able to bring people in squad and drop them at the right time.
Yeah,
and CR7 is not that. He's going to get past that ego that he can be dropped. And if it means for the sake of the tournament and the competition, he needs to be dropped at certain times or certain stages of the tournament, then he needs to be dropped. And I hope Roberto Martinez is strong enough to do that.
Yeah. He said they've discussed it in certain games that whereby if you need to pull off, he will be pulled off. I saw the pass he made to Bruno Fernandes. I guarantee you, I did ask a few friends yesterday. They said if Bruno was in that Ronaldo position, he ain't passing that ball. No way.
He's passing the ball, bro. Listen,
he had the chance earlier. He had the chance earlier to pass. He shot it over the post.
Listen, this is the same Bruno Fernandes who hurt our team while Ronaldo was on the pitch. Because every time he got the ball, Ronaldo was the first person he was looking for, regardless of whichever runs anybody else would make.
That is true.
But that is true. Look at the flip side. Bro. If you remember that season when Ronaldo made passes to Bruno, the times of misses they were making were unbelievable. It was a cat. We just could not put the ball in the net. Under Ravnik. And you could pull it up on YouTube, pull it up. About 15 times we had the ball that Ronaldo laid off of player. Rashford, Sancho, just can't find the net. Open goals. Well, that's all in the past. But I feel England now, they got to beat Slovenia. If they don't, if they lose to Slovenia, they're going home. And the press will be waiting for them at Heathrow Airport.
They need to, and you know what? Unfortunately, I feel like it's going to fall right into the hands of this Gareth Southgate era. Because it's so important for England to win this game, they're going to do the exact same thing. If, let's say, the game was 0-0 or it's tied upwards to the 60th minute, if England takes the lead in the 65th minute, you know what they're going to do, right?
Park the bus.
They're going to try to park the bus. And they're going to start giving
this injuries and kill the game.
They're going to, but it's not going to work because the opposition, because they need this win, going to come at them.
Yeah,
you cannot.
If Slovenia score first, if England have not come back, England have not considered the goal first yet. I want to see England concede and see how they recover.
Yeah, I think they will step it up.
I think they do. Just like right where we are much weaker while we have the league than we are after we've conceded. Right? Every game in every game, right? The only way England wins for them to concede. That's the only way you can get better football out of England.
But against Denmark, they didn't. So against Denmark.
So think about it from the other point of view. What would you want? If you're facing England or any other team, when you're a goal down, what would you prefer? Would you prefer that the opposition parks the bus or they become offensive? What is better for most teams, do you think? if you're chasing a goal.
You will hope if you're chasing that, but most times when they see the defense is if they see they're under the cosh, most teams just try and hit you on a break. They
But
will
what would
just
you
try and hit.
prefer as a team if you've gone a goal down? Imagine Tim, you've got your team of 11 and you've gone a goal down. What would you prefer? That the team parks the bus and say it stays defensive, or they become offensive?
I
What would
prefer
be
they come
better?
offensive. If they come offensive, I will find spaces. So I want them to still come out. Not if so when they sit back, it's like, especially when them low blocks who know how to defend, it's just gonna be a wall because they put two banks of four in front of you.
Yeah.
You know?
It depends on the point of the game. Like playing defensively for long periods of time, that is exhausting,
Oh
bro.
yeah.
When
Italians were
you
the
play a
best.
more attack, that is an exhausting thing to do. When a team is just coming at you, like
Waves and
wave
waves of
after
attack.
wave after wave after wave. You don't want that, man. I say the best, and it's better for them to sit back because you know they're not going to hit
What's
on the
better for
counter.
you as a team that's chasing a game? So you're the opposition. What would you want? You're desperate for the next goal. Would you prefer the team is offensive or defensive?
I mean, obviously, it was more offensive because you'll get more space. It depends on the kind of team you have too. If you have fast wingers, right, that can take advantage of a team coming out, yes. But if you have more technical players that's able to maneuver in tight spaces, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't care if they park the bus because you know you have the skill sets and the skill to be able
That's
to
right.
maneuver through that.
That's
And
I
right.
just
would
keep
prefer
hammering down.
I would prefer defensive. Why?
But
Yeah, yeah, but it depends. It
Why?
depends on the kind of players you have, though. If you have
Yeah, yeah,
if
technical,
that's
I
true. But
I would
I'm
use
assuming that all the players are of good quality on both
yeah,
sides. I would
I
prefer
would
defensive because that takes the pressure off you in having to
yeah,
deal with attacks.
with
You know
attacks,
that
yeah.
if a team's
but because
defensive,
they
they're not going to
yeah,
attack your
sure.
goal. So you effectively squeeze them back into the final
But
third.
when you're dealing with a team
And you're
that
going
could
to
defend so
just look for
well,
gaps and hammer them.
it would close that game out. Feign
Yeah, but
injuries, kill the
your risk
momentum.
level, for me, I think risk level goes way down when you're up against a defensive team because you're
True.
not going to concede a goal. They're not going to
True.
come anywhere near your goalie.
If
So I
England
think
takes the
as
lead,
if I'm chasing the game, I want that team to be defensive. So I think it plays into the strategy that
Right.
they're going to become easier to beat
Right.
because you're going to constantly
keep
Right.
pound
yep.
them, and eventually you're going to find a way through.
Right.
You've
You're
got
right.
The
no
way
risk
England needs
of
to
them
get
scoring.
the way England needs to get past that is after you gain the lead, instead of sitting back,
Exactly.
you
Instead of
bring in
sitting back.
you bring in more legs. You bring
Yes.
in your Ollie Watkins. You bring in
Yes.
your Gordons. You
Yes.
bring in your what's his name from Chelsea. You put them to the
Gallagher,
sword so that they
Palmer.
never
Gallagher, Palmer,
you
whichever one.
never want them to get comfortable. You
Exactly.
never like how do you it's
They
not to
scored
this
in the
is
10th minute and conceded the 29th
madness.
against Denmark.
Madness.
But up to that
Madness.
point, after they scored, it was one-way traffic all through. Denmark didn't want the halftime whistle to blow because they had England on the ropes. See what I mean?
Yep.
And this
Yeah,
is
so
it. So
Denmark.
now
yeah, so
don't be
if
saying,
the team's
don't
on
be
the
saying,
ropes,
yeah,
the team's on the ropes, it's going to be you're going to eventually beat them into submission.
exactly. But England couldn't even find a way out of the ropes. They just hung in there.
No, so why doesn't Southgate see that? That okay, or better still,
Because
why
he
doesn't
did
the
the same
team
thing
see that?
he did against
But why doesn't the
Serbia.
team
Sit
see
back.
that? Yeah, but but he's not on the pitch conducting the style of play. It was quite an interesting interview, by the way. Um, I was watching a recent or an old Roy Ferguson interview. Actually, it was called Pitch Invasion. It was on BBC, and people were saying that back in the day when Man United was so dominant, Roy Ferguson was Alex Ferguson on the pitch. So the way Alex Ferguson wanted to play football, it was all transgressed through Roy Keane.
Roy Keane. Now,
Keane
who's
was him.
Roy
Roy
Ferguson?
Keane was living out Alex Ferguson on the pitch, and that's what a
Yes.
lot of people said. And that's
Yes.
why our game and our style of play was so fearful. You know, because Alex Ferguson is that fiery type of character, and that was all lived out through Roy
Roy
Keane.
Keane.
And so you always need, if you're a certain style of manager, you need a player that's going to go and enact your style of play and your game on the pitch. You need to be on the pitch. Alex Ferguson can't be on the pitch, so Roy Keane was.
Yeah.
So Gareth Southgate doesn't seem to have
A general on the
the
pitch.
prowess of being that kind of commanding character.
Yes.
So there's no leadership there.
Right.
But Jordan Henderson, up to a point in the last tournament, he was called a very vocal character,
Yes.
as he was for Liverpool, and he was very good for England.
Mm.
He was quite a loud character. And now we're devoid of that. And it almost feels like we've completely lost our style. And I'm sorry to go back to England, but there's some serious problems there which are quite glaring to the eye. Right. That we can't seem to play this tournament football because we're missing lots of key pieces like jigsaw puzzle. And I'm hoping the FA can see this and correct it.
No, they see it, but they won't correct it.
Right. They won't do anything about it.
As it stands,
because they have to admit that they were wrong. Right. And there's too many egos in FA right now.
That's true. That's so true. As it stands,
for you to make the change, you have to admit you were wrong.
Yeah.
Right. Correct.
And it's going to be rinse and repeat next tournament as well. They're going to put the pure focus on one guy, and he's going to be the scapegoat. Sorry, Tim.
As it stands, Group A is in progress now. Germany, because on the final group matches, everyone's playing at the same time, so no games can't be manipulated. You have Germany playing Switzerland, which is on now. Germany have already qualified with 6 points. Oh,
Germany just scored
1-0.
Germany just scored.
Yeah,
1
against Switzerland.
Against Switzerland. So Scotland need to win.
Oh,
they need to beat Hungary. Goal. Scotland need to beat Hungary. There's no way.
Yes.
There is no
what
way.
What minute are you in, Vim?
It shows 18 minutes.
I'm on 17:08, 17:09.
Mine shows 18 minutes.
How can you be ahead?
Yo,
how can you be ahead?
Get that super.
Yeah, Tim, mate, how are you doing this?
You got that BritBox, that BritBox subscription premium.
No, but I'm watching this on terrestrial TV, Plus. I'm watching it on the BBC.
Okay, so I just saw this.
Unless you guys.
No,
what's your minute now?
For which team?
I'm on 16.
Switzerland and Germany.
Germany too.
Switzerland and Germany, 19 minutes. Mine's 19 minutes.
19 minutes?
Yeah.
19?
Yeah.
Yo.
I'm on 17:47.
Hey, Tim, we're going to have a conversation after this.
Tim, what are you doing, mate?
No, 19 minutes. And
Tim,
Scotland
I need that link, Tim. I need that link.
Scotland, Hungary, 15 minutes.
Tim, can you see lottery numbers in advance?
That'd be great. That'd be great. So, Joe, last question before I go. Who are your favorites? Now that we've seen a few games so far, literally seen all the games, all the teams playing the groups, who's your money still on in the Euros to win it?
Spain. I like what I've seen as style of play. I would love to see, from what I've seen now, I would love to see if they're not on the same path, I would see a Spain-Germany final.
Yeah, that'd be a good final, Spain-Germany.
Right.
Yeah.
Vim, who's your hot money still on?
Hot money. I think Germany being a home country, there's so much weight and expectation there that they've almost got to win it. You know, with Germany, it's pure efficiency. You know, it's they're the leading car makers. They lead the world in so many different aspects.
Yep.
There's huge amounts of expectation and pressure there that they've got to do. Nagelsmann, even when they go goal up, he looks manic.
Oh, they took the goal back.
Goal being cancelled, bro.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
No, that's why he looks even more manic. I think there's huge expectation on
the
that.
VAR has been taking quite a few goals. The VAR has been taking quite a few goals back this tournament. I've seen quite a few goals being taken back after the goals.
And lots of own goals as well. Lots of own goals.
The own goals has been crazy this tournament.
Yeah. Especially when the keeper carries it on a defender, puts it back in. I think that 3 times.
There's been I don't even know his name. Our backup goalkeeper.
For Turkey.
His own goal was, oh my God.
That was funny.
That was very unfortunate.
Gentlemen, we have come to the end of the show for our Europe roundup. We'll be back next Sunday. By then, we've already had the groups rounded up, and who's going to the next round of 16. We'd already have those names ready to go for the round of 16.
Pick your winners.
Oh, yeah. I said Spain. Tim?
Spain.
I have 2. I'm going with Portugal and France.
No, one team. Pick your winner.
Going all the way.
I'm going Portugal.
Portugal?
I'll
Yeah.
go Germany
Yeah.
then.
Germany?
Yes.
All
Yeah.
right.
All
All right.
right, gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for joining our show today. We had a great Euro 24, our first Euro 24 coverage for this tournament. It's been great. It's been great. Great discussion, great catch up on all the teams, and we'll see some more football. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and we shall catch you guys soon. Take care, guys. I'll see you soon. Vim, Joe, thank you
And
very much, brother. Take
thank
care.
you.
All right.